The Philadelphia Eagles are off to a blazing start in the 2025 NFL season. And if you're an Eagles fan, you've got to be riding this wave with a mix of excitement and cautious optimism. For weeks in, for wins, and a team that refuses to break, even when it looks like the wheels are about to fall off. From a dramatic season opener to a gritty win in unbearable heat, this team is building a story that's as thrilling as it is unpredictable. It all started on Thursday night, September 4th, under the bright lights and with all eyes on them. The Eagles took on their biggest rivals, the Dallas Cowboys, and delivered a statement win. Final score? 24-20. But it wasn't just about the scoreboard. This game came down to the wire, showing early on that this team has heart, composure, and the ability to close. Week 2, just a little Super Bowl 59 rematch in Arrowhead Stadium. Pressure, history, the noise, none of it mattered. The Birds flew in and came out with a convincing 20-7 victory over the defending champs. Then came Week 3, and that one was just wild. The Eagles go down big to the Rams, and it looked like the magic had run out. But no, 26 unanswered points and a walk-off blocked field goal return for a touchdown by Jordan Davis. Big man touchdown alert. That's not just a win. That's a soul-snatching, momentum-seizing play that defines a season. And then, Week 4 in Tampa. That first half, maybe the most complete 30 minutes we've seen from the Eagles in a long time. Dominant, sharp, physical, and creative. But as quickly as they built that lead, it started to slip. Tampa Bay clawed their way back. The heat was oppressive, over 100 degrees on the field, and the Eagles looked like they were about to collapse. But they didn't. They held strong. They survived. And they escaped with a 31-25 win against a legit NFC contender. Now, looking around the league as we head into Week 5, there are only two unbeaten teams left, the Eagles and the Buffalo Bills, both sitting at 4-0. In the NFC East, Philly's already carved out a little breathing room. With Washington at 2-2 after a loss to Atlanta, and the Cowboys now at 1-2, and one following a wild Sunday night tie against the Packers. The Eagles have a 2-game lead in the win column. It's early, but it matters. You want to be in control of your division, and right now, the Eagles are in the driver's seat. And listen, let's not act like these wins have been soft. The Eagles have taken down 3 teams expected to make the playoffs. That's a brutal way to open a season, and they've come out flawless on the record sheet. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Buccaneers, these are not cupcakes. This isn't a team starting 4-0 after walking through weak competition. This is a battle-tested squad that's shown toughness, resilience, and flashes of brilliance. But let's be honest about where they still need to grow. The offense? It's all over the place. Inconsistent, unpredictable, almost unrecognizable from one half to the next. You look at Jalen Hurts, and he's had moments of MVP-caliber brilliance, like in the second half against the Rams and the first half against the Buccaneers. Against Tampa, Hurts was surgical in that first half. 15 for 16, over 92% completion rate. That's the best half he's ever played in terms of accuracy. And the play design? Beautiful. Creative formations. Underhanded pitches. A shovel pass to Dallas Goedert in the red zone. Misdirection. Tempo. That's the offense fans want to see. That's the identity they've been craving. But then the second half came, and it was like a different team walked out of the tunnel. Hurts didn't complete a single pass after the break. 0 for 7. The offense looked conservative, flat, and predictable. That's not how you finish games in the NFL. That's not how you sustain success. And it's been a trend through these first 4 games. Explosive 1 minute, lifeless the next. It's a roller coaster, and at some point, the ride has to smooth out if this team wants to hoist the Lombardi. Now let's talk about special teams, because they've been straight up elite. Michael Clay's unit is one of the best in the league right now. From blocked punts to scoop and scores, they've made plays that change games. Against the Bucks, Cam Latu, who just got added to the roster, comes through with a blocked punt. Sidney Brown picks it up and takes it 30 yards to the house. That kind of execution flips momentum. That's championship football. You win in all 3 phases, and you're going to give yourself a chance every week. Defensively, there's been a lot to like. Quinn Mitchell was playing on another level against the Buccaneers. Last year, he looked like a Pro Bowler as a rookie. This week, he looked like a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. 4 pass breakups, tight coverage, traveling with receivers in scorching heat, and just dominating his side of the field. Jahad Campbell had some rookie moments, got burned on a long touchdown, but also made huge plays. Forced a fumble, had a red zone interception, and showed that mental toughness you love to see in young players. And when a guy like Zach Bond says, as a rookie, I would have played scared after giving up that kind of play, but Campbell didn't flinch, you know this kid is built different. Yes, the defense gave up some huge plays, touchdowns of over 70 yards twice. That has to get fixed. But the context matters. This defense was on the field for a lot of snaps. They were exhausted. It was 100 degrees, and they still made clutch plays late. That speaks volumes. And let's not ignore what Vic Fangio's brought to the table. This defense has teeth. It has swagger, and it has potential to grow even more. The Eagles also added a new twist to their infamous tush-push play. No team in the league has stopped it better than Tampa. So what do the Eagles do? They hit them with a fake. Saquon Barkley gets the handoff on an end-around look, and there's not a defender in sight. That's the kind of creativity people say the tush-push lacks. But the Eagles keep evolving it. They've thrown deep out of it. They've faked it. They've expanded the playbook off of it. This is a chess move, not checkers. But there are cracks that need sealing. The offense has no true identity right now. They can't run the ball with consistency. The line has been underwhelming. The passing game is hit or miss. And for all the talent this team has, there's still that lingering feeling of unpredictability. Fans don't know what to expect from week to week. Will it be the aggressive, attacking team that takes risks and hits on big plays? Or the one that plays not to lose and stalls out? And that brings us to A.J. Brown. After the win over the Buccaneers, he posted a cryptic message on social media. And let's just say, it raised eyebrows. You don't send out a quote about quietly withdrawing when you're not welcomed or listened to unless you're feeling something heavy. And while it's easy to overreact to a tweet, the frustrations are real. Brown's numbers so far this year, not what you'd expect from one of the top receivers in the league. Week 1, 1 catch, 8 yards. Week 2, 5 catches, 27 yards. Week 3, he finally pops off in the second half, goes over 100 with a touchdown. Week 4, 9 targets, 2 catches, 7 yards. You can see where the frustration comes from. This is a player who's been elite since he arrived in Philly. He's a competitor. He wants to be involved. He wants to make an impact. And right now, he feels like he's being underutilized. This isn't about ego. It's about impact. He knows what he's capable of, and when the offense is sputtering and he's not getting looks, it's easy to feel like something is off. Now, let's dive deeper into this second layer of the Eagles' 2025 campaign, where success and frustration are running parallel. Because even with an undefeated record, there are legitimate concerns, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that could derail what otherwise looks like a championship-level team. And for a fan base that's still scarred by the late-season collapse of 2 years ago, it's impossible to ignore the comparisons. Let's rewind to 2023. The Eagles stormed out of the gates with a 10-1 record. Everything looked smooth on the surface, but underneath? Cracks, inconsistencies, flaws that weren't being exposed yet. But once that Niners blowout happened late in the year, it was like the dam broke. Philly lost 6 of their last 7 games and got embarrassed in the wild card round by Tampa Bay. And the worst part? It felt like everyone saw it coming except the people in the building. The wins masked the issues until it was too late. Fast forward to now, and the question becomes, is this year different? Or are we watching a similar movie with a slightly different cast? At first glance, there are huge differences. The coaching staff is upgraded. The roster is deeper. The Eagles now have a Super Bowl under their belt from last season, and you can feel that championship DNA. Saquon Barkley is in the backfield. Vic Fangio is calling the defense. And unlike 2 years ago, Philly isn't starting washed veterans on defense, just hoping they don't get burned. They're rolling with young, hungry players who bring energy and upside. There's a better feel to this team, a higher ceiling, but the inconsistencies still feel a little too familiar. And it starts with this offense, because while the defense has held up pretty well despite some explosive plays allowed, the offensive identity is still missing in action. Through 4 weeks, the Eagles have not put together a full 60-minute game on offense. Not one. That's wild. In every single contest, they've either started flat or collapsed in the second half. Against the Rams, they did nothing in the first half, then caught fire in the second. Against the Bucs, they exploded in the first 2 quarters, then completely vanished after halftime. Jalen Hurts didn't complete a single pass in that second half. That's not just a stat. That's a red flag. That's a system issue. Kevin Patullo, the play caller, has taken a lot of heat. And rightfully so. When this offense gets conservative, it's almost like they forget how to play to their strengths. You got a mobile quarterback, 2 elite receivers, a dynamic tight end, and a backfield that includes Saquon Barkley. Sometimes it feels like the Eagles are running plays out of a 1990s playbook. The concepts get stale, the rhythm disappears, and the aggression turns into hesitation. And when you look at the stats, it's even more shocking. The Eagles are the first team in NFL history to start 4-0, while averaging under 260 total yards per game and fewer than 4.2 yards per play. That's a winning record that's being held together by clutch plays and resilience, not offensive dominance. And that's not sustainable. You can't ride that kind of wave all the way to the Super Bowl. At some point, you need to start imposing your will on defenses. Jalen Hurts is the key to it all. When he's in rhythm, when the play designs allow him to use his legs and stretch the field, he looks like an MVP. We've seen that in flashes against the Rams in the first half against Tampa. But when the offense goes passive, when they lean too heavily on short, predictable plays, or when the protection breaks down, Hurts becomes neutralized. And that's when the offense starts sputtering. And again, you can't ignore what's happening with A.J. Brown. His numbers don't match his talent. They don't reflect his impact. And whether you like the cryptic tweet or not, it tells a story. This is a guy who's used to being one of the most feared weapons in the NFL, and right now, he's watching games go by where he's getting underutilized or used in ways that don't maximize what he brings to the table. And he's frustrated. And yes, the Eagles are winning, but wide receivers of his caliber don't just want wins. They want to contribute. They want to dominate. And when you're not getting opportunities, it starts to boil over. What happens next is up to the coaching staff, because managing talent and keeping a locker room aligned is a huge part of building a winning culture. You can't alienate your stars. You can't ignore their concerns. But you also can't let individual frustrations poison the team dynamic. That's a tightrope that Nick Sirianni and company will have to walk carefully. Because if this turns into a bigger issue, it could be one of those things that divides a locker room quietly. And no team wins with internal tension. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The rumor mill is spinning faster than ever in Philadelphia, and it's sending shockwaves through the NFL world. Sources close to the team hint that the Eagles are about to land one of the league's most electrifying talents. Whispers in the locker room and on social media suggest that Tyreek Hill, the speedster who has tormented defenses across the league, has confirmed his arrival in Philadelphia. While nothing has been officially announced yet, fans are already buzzing, imagining Hill zipping down the sidelines in midnight green and silver. Insiders describe the atmosphere in Philly as almost electric, with speculation that Hill's presence could completely transform the Eagles' offensive game plan. Known for his jaw-dropping acceleration and ability to change a game in a single play, Hill is a player who demands attention. Even the mere possibility of him joining the Eagles has sent analysts scrambling to adjust their predictions for next season. The thought of pairing him with the team's already formidable weapons has some suggesting the Eagles could emerge as one of the league's most feared offensive units. Social media has exploded with memes, reaction videos, and even mock highlight reels imagining Hill weaving through defenders in Eagles green. Some fans are calling it a dream combo, while others caution patience, pointing out that until an official announcement lands, it's still part of the rumor mill. Still, the buzz is undeniable, and stadium seats and jerseys could fly off the shelves faster than Hill can sprint 40 yards. Questions abound. How will the coaching staff adjust to maximize his impact? Which receiver will now take a back seat in the spotlight? And most tantalizing of all, can Tyreek Hill make Philly's already passionate fan base even more electrified than ever? Only time will tell. But if these whispers are true, the Eagles may have just added a game changer, someone capable of turning every Sunday into an edge-of-your-seat spectacle. The city is holding its breath, waiting for confirmation, as the rumor continues to ripple across the NFL. Philadelphia might just be on the verge of its next big offensive revolution. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.